It's time. Inter Miami needs a mascot. No better time than now than for Inter Miami to embrace a new cuddly friend. And I know what you're saying. I've heard it all before. Serious football clubs don't have mascots. Mascots are not what soccer is all about. I beg to differ. It is a part of the game. It is part of the sport. And what better time than now when Inter Miami is opening a brand new stadium in 2026? What better time than to incorporate a mascot, to bring more families to the game? It would be fun. And we're going to show you some concepts that we think might make sense, but also, again, I've heard the argument, we don't need a mascot. Well, they tried. Apparently, this is some concept art that was created a couple of years ago by a company called Reboot. This was a concept we thought was happening. I don't know what happened to it. It just kind of died on the vine. But here you have a very kind of PVC. It was created out of reclaimed plastics, boots, soccer boots, and soccer equipment. So all reclaimed, which is a great concept. But look, and he's fierce looking. I like that. I want my mascot to have a little grit to him. And I do like that. But he's not cute and cuddly either. And I think cute and cuddly is an important part of a mascot. Because let's be honest, mascots are great for community outreach, for kids. Again, you and I, the diehard soccer fan, might not care about mascots. Well, I beg to differ. I care. I like them. I think they're fun. But you might not care about the mascot. You may think it's stupid. But guess who likes it? Your son, your daughter. They love mascots. Now this one, I don't know. He's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind, but he's not, that cuddly, if you will. And I've heard the story that just mascots don't belong in football. Well, it's a big part of the World Cup. And here you've got Maple, Zayu, and Clutch, the three mascots for the 2026 World Cup. And look, I've got a mascot from a World Cup right here. This is the World Cup mascot from Brazil 2014, right here. They sell. This was given to me by one of my family members in Brazil. Mascots sell. And look, they're going to sell so many probably T-shirts and little plush toys and all that kind of stuff for the World Cup. And we all know for big soccer tournaments, Copa America, World Cup, the Olympics, they always roll out these mascots. And there's a reason for it. They're fun. And what's wrong with fun? For any of you that are saying you don't like having a mascot with your team, do you not like fun? Are you allergic to fun? I like fun, and I think mascots are fun. Again, they're a part of the game. And again, the question comes, serious football clubs, do they have mascots? Will a serious football club embrace a mascot? Well, I think the Premier League's pretty serious. Most people consider that the best league in the world. Arsenal's got a mascot. That's a pretty silly looking mascot. This like dinosaur looking guy. I don't even know what he is. I think he's called Gunner or something like that. But pretty silly. And look at the fans. Fans are all excited to see him. You've got mascots in Manchester City, and these are weird. These are these alien mascots. I like my mascot to at least maybe make some sense. It makes some sense with the team identity. So this doesn't quite make sense, but it's fun. Bayern Munich, they've got a bear. How great is that? This guy here, he's over in Vancouver now. Maybe they have a mascot. I don't know. Does Vancouver have a mascot? I'm not sure. But Juventus does. And Juventus's mascot is pretty cool because they've even created a cartoon series on TV for their mascot. So again, the opportunities, the stream of revenue is endless. Another way to get your brand identity into younger audiences. You want to raise your next generation of soccer fans. You want to bring up the next generation of Inter Miami fans. We need a mascot. And anybody that says the Inter Miami fans don't like mascots, well, guess what? These Inter Miami fans were in Columbus when they decided to pose with the Columbus Crew. What is he, a cat? I don't even know what he is. But our Messi fans right here were catching a little shot there with the mascot in Columbus. So there are there's about over 20 teams in MLS that have mascots. I believe it's a little over 20 that have mascots. So several teams have mascots in Major League Soccer, which is no surprise. Mascots are very common, in American sports. You've got the Ibis in the Miami Hurricanes. You've got the Dolphin for the Miami Dolphins. You've got some of I don't even know. The Miami Heat have some sort of creature. I'm not even sure what they're called. Bernie? Isn't he Bernie? You've got Billy the Marlin in baseball. So there's mascots galore. And the reason for it is they may not sell tickets to the game, but it makes it a more fun atmosphere, more fun day out for the entire family. Again, adults here in Columbus getting a picture with the enemy mascot. Come on. So here's a couple concepts we created with a little help from AI. We created this mascot. I don't have a name for him though, but I like names that have a alliteration. So what, like Hank the Heron, Herbie Heron. Maybe is there a Spanish name? I know J is not an H, but it's pronounced like an H. Julio Heron? I don't know. Henry the Heron. I like Henry the Heron. Anyways, I think this is what I would think is a good starting point, right? A good starting point for a mascot here at Inter Miami. He's a white heron. It's got the pink beak, represents the colors properly. He's got some furrowed eyebrows, so he's ready to play. He's all about winning, and the kids would love to take pictures with him. Out in the fan zone before the game, there would be lines of kids getting pictures with Henry the Heron. I'm going to go with Henry for now. And you could make a cartoon out of him, too. Juventus made a cartoon. They actually have their cartoon on TV. Imagine if Inter Miami created a Saturday morning cartoon. Well, we don't do Saturday morning cartoons anymore. But somewhere on, you just put it on YouTube, whatever. But made some cartoon shorts with their heron character, beating up on other MLS teams, whatever the storylines may be. It would be fun. It would get your kids interested, and your kids that may not like soccer, maybe you're the dad that loves football and you're dragging your kids to the game. Now your kids are going to want to go to the game with you. No questions asked. They're in it. But even more important is the marketing, because at the end of the day, Inter Miami is a business. They want to make money. And so why not create a character that will sell tons of merch? It's a no-brainer. Just ask Disney. How many Mickey Mouse dolls and all that kind of stuff? It's endless. You can make a plushie. Look, it looks great on a plushie, looks great on a coffee mug, a hat, kids' t-shirts, whatever. It's endless. You can have them up on the video monitors, beating up on the other teams and things like that. You can make fun little cartoon segments. But merchandising, you can make soccer balls with Henry the Heron. It's just you're printing money. I think these would sell like crazy. Okay, you may not like my designs here, right? It's just to give you an idea. But the concept, selling merch, and I'm telling you, I'm showing you kids stuff. I would wear a Henry the Heron shirt. I think it's fun. especially if you make them a little more like you could have some fun with it and put them in action poses and make him a little more fierce and stuff like that. Kicking the ball, he could be, give him a position. Is he a goalie? Is he a striker? Is he a midfielder? You can have fun with it. Merchandising opportunities are endless. This would print money. Inter Miami is all up, they want to win trophies, obviously, but they are a business that wants to make money, obviously. So, wrapping this up, Inter Miami, you need a mascot. And just look, in soccer history in South Florida, currently there is a mascot with Miami FC. They've got, I think it's a pelican. They have a mascot. But the mascot that I was really cool with and familiar with was back in the days of the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. We had Hot Shot. Hot Shot. Look at the kids, how happy the kids were. Kids loved seeing Hot Shot. They were getting pictures with him all the time. So to wrap this up, marketing, fan engagement, community outreach. You want to send your players out to a local hospital to meet and greet kids? You send Henry the Heron with them. It's a no-brainer. It'll put a smile on the face of all the sick kids in the hospital, because, teams do that. They go visit sick kids in hospitals. Any kind of community events. Imagine the team sponsoring a 5K run and you've got your mascot starting off the race, waving the checkered flag or what have you. It's just the community outreach would be phenomenal. It's something silly, yeah, but we like silly. We like to have fun. And at the end of the day, football is life, right? That saying is there thanks to some TV shows and things like that. Was that Ted Lasso? I think that came from. Football is life. But it's also fun, and it should be fun. It's entertainment. So let's be entertained, and let's try to convince Inter Miami to create a mascot. I don't care if it's the tough-looking one that they created from Reboot, or if it's one of my two options off to your left or right, something along those lines, but they need to do it now. While they're launching their brand new stadium, imagine walking out on that field with their mascot. Fans will eat it up. Give me your thoughts on Inter Miami getting a mascot down below. I'm interested to hear if you love the idea, you hate the idea. I don't care if you agree with me I want you to agree with me, but I don't mind if you disagree. Let's have a healthy conversation in the chat down below. And if you enjoy this content, please click that join button and support the channel for just a few bucks a month. If you can't do that, just click like, share, and subscribe, and we really appreciate it. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.